In today's episode of Value on My Toy Collection, we're going to value all kinds of dolls. Hey everyone, my name's Chris. I'm a full-time beauty pageant director as my career, but in my spare time, I'm a huge toy collector. I've been collecting toys now for over 40 years. You can officially call me a toyaholic. Thanks so much for checking out my YouTube channel. My channel consists mainly of two things: beauty pageants, which I love, and toys, which I love even more. My dream in life has always been to own a toy museum, so it's finally happened. I've bought a building, and now I've got to move this massive collection and value it into the building. We're calling it the Toy Vault because it's an old bank building located in Crystal Springs, Mississippi that actually has two large vaults. So now I'm just going to make a ton of videos and value my toy collection, and then I'm going to make some where I take you shopping with me to thrift stores and flea markets and toy stores to let you see where I find all these goodies. So let's start this episode of Value in My Toy Collection and value some toys. Jump right in and start valuing some dolls and toys. First, we have a Flight Time Barbie worth about $12, and a Pilot Ken missing his tie, so he's probably worth about $10. And then we have this astronaut Barbie. She's called I Can Be a Space Explorer. She's worth about $20. And then we have these vintage Candi dolls. They're from Michaelman, and they're worth about $50 each. The one in the red dress and this one in the blue dress with the red hair. $50 each. That's not too bad. All right, and then we have Skipper's First Job at Target. And this is worth about $30. And then next up, we have a Boy My Scene doll. This one's called Jammin' in Jamaica, and he just needs to be tied back into his box, right? And he's worth about $35. And then this is pretty cool. This isn't Barbie. It's called from Gloria, but it's an old computer from the 90s, worth about $12. Here, I think this is Skipper's boyfriend. I'm not sure, but he's worth about $15. The clothes alone are worth about $15. Then we have a vintage Ken in a tuxedo worth about $12. And then a light and lace 1990 Barbie worth about $15. And then we have a vintage Peaches and Cream Christie doll worth about $80. And then a Barbie, I don't know if that's the Peaches and Cream doll or not, but she is in the right dress. So we'll say $15 since I'm not sure. Then we have these Birthstone Beauty dolls, and I know I have their little pets that came with them somewhere. I just have to dig them out. I have a big box of accessories, but we have 5 of these, and these are worth at least $20 each loose. So that's $100 worth of these Birthstone Barbies. Then we've got a few older dolls. We have this turquoise and pearl Barbie. She's from Pearl Beach, 1997, worth $12. And then these 3 dolls in their swimsuits, they're probably worth about $6 each. Then we've got some more loose dolls. It's hard to value all these. The one in the iridescent dress, probably worth about $10. And then this doll has a Hercules Meg dress on, so that's worth about $10. And then we have this vintage doll here. She's worth about $6. And then the Snow White in one of those valuable old dresses is worth about $10. And then we have a bunch of My Scene Barbies. This blue one is from a birthday club. It's Madison, worth about $15. Then all these other ones, they're probably worth at least $15 each. Like I said, it's just hard to really look up loose dolls. So they're probably worth more than I'm saying they are, but I really like to keep it conservative and not overprice my collection. All right, next up we have a Dusty doll from 1974. She's worth $30. Have a Pilot Barbie, probably worth about $6. All-American Barbie from 1990, worth about $6. And then I didn't know this next one, but I looked her up. She's a Winx Club, so she's worth about $25, and the Ken's worth about $6. We have a Galloping Horse that's worth about $25, and a little pink dressing room case worth about $10. Try to open it up. You see it's a little vanity set. Pretty cute. Then we have 3 of these dolls. They're Flair dolls. And these were in the 70s and 80s at the dollar stores. They were always like $1 or $2, but I think they had a ton of those. And they're not worth a fortune, but they're worth about $15 each if they're still in the package. But I think everybody from the 70s and 80s remembers these. And then next up, let's see. We have, I know in the back there's a Copper Tone doll. It's a Copper Tone Candy doll. Here she is. And her package isn't in the best shape, but even in this shape, she's worth about $35. And then a newer doll, we have a color reveal Barbie. I've never done one of these. I think you dip them in water or something and they change into a doll. I'm not sure. They're worth about $8. And then an old craft doll, she's worth about $8 as well. Then we've got the Cinderella horse that's worth about $15 from 2014, and the carriage is worth about $35. We have some more loose horses. The purple unicorn's $8, the glitter one's $8, and the dark purple one with the saddle is worth about $15. We have this velvet black horse worth about $8. All right, then we have this Embassy Janay doll, and she's really increased in value. She's worth about $85 now. And then we have a Janay in the red dress doll, and she's worth about $50. I also had her in a blue dress like that, a loose doll somewhere in one of the videos. And then we have a My First Barbie table and chair set worth about $32. Have some more loose dolls. I think this is a Kira doll from the 80s and someone rerouted her, so she's worth about $15 with that hair alone. And then we have the Pink Inspiration doll worth about $20 loose. I think this is an Integrity doll, but I'm not sure. We'll say $15, but probably worth more than that. From Pocahontas, we have a Miko doll. She's worth about $12. And then our regular dolls, I usually value regular dolls about $5 each. So those are both worth $5. And then this My Scene doll, she's worth about $15 loose. And then we have some more regular dolls coming up. This one's worth $5. And then this one in the pink, that is a vintage dress, but we'll just say $5. Now this is a model basic doll. She's worth about $35 with that bobbed hair. And then this one in the purple is worth about $5. A few more $5 dolls here. This one, she's from the 80s with that blue eyeshadow. She's probably worth at least $5. And this one in the African print dress is worth about $5. And then this one's also worth about $5. Have this vintage Jasmine doll with one of the original Barbie dresses. She's worth about $10. And then I think this is a Christian Dior dress. I'm not sure, but this one's worth about $20. And then these two dolls are probably worth about $5 each. I think this one's a Filipino doll, but I'm not sure. I'll say $5, but I think she's worth a lot more than that. And then this is a Mulan doll with her hair cut. Probably worth about $5. And then here's another regular doll worth about $5. This one in the blue dress worth about $5. And then we have a Marilyn Monroe doll loose. Her dress is a little faded, but she's worth at least $15. Then another regular doll worth about $5. Doll in the white dress is worth about $5. Those vintage earrings are probably worth $5 by themselves. And then we have these evening extravaganza dolls. The Christie dolls worth $45, and the pink Barbie one's worth about $25. And then we have this doll in this really nice blue gown. It's worth about $15. And then we have two dolls next to her in long gowns, and these are nice dresses. So we'll say about $10 each for these. All right, then we have this really cool doll with the purple custom hair. She's worth at least $20. And then we have a normal doll next to her worth about $5. And then we have a model basic doll in this red and black and silver dress worth about $40. And a My Scene doll in a nice dress worth about $20. Have another one of those model dolls. She's worth about $35. And this doll in the floral green dress worth at least $10. And this doll is Jane from Tarzan in a really nice dress we put on her, worth about $18. Have a Mulan doll in a red and black dress. She's worth about $15. And then this doll's worth about $5. And this retro Barbie's worth about $20. Then we have a bunch of candy dolls. These are really nice dolls from the 90s. They have a different face. You can tell they're candy dolls. But we're going to average all these at about $25 each. Some of them are worth more than that. But I think that's a fair estimate. I think they're worth $25, $35 just for the dolls. And then a lot of them have really nice dresses on. That would increase them even more. So I guess we'll just say $25. But like I said, I think they're worth more than that. There were different faces on them. Like some of these were candy dolls, and like this one I think is a Janay doll, but still worth about $25. This is a candy doll, but has a Barbie outfit on. I think that's a UNICEF dress. And then these dolls came with fur coats. These were super pretty dolls, and I think I still have all their coats. I might be missing that last one. I'm gonna have to dig through that Barbie box one day and see what I can find in there. It's going to be hard to display everything I have in the toy museum. I bought a bank building and it's about 5,100 square feet, but I think I have enough toys to fill up about 10,000 square feet. So I'm going to have to be kind of creative on how to display everything. And I might have to sell some of my toys, which I really don't want to do. I didn't really buy a building to show off my toys to have to sell them. But I'm going to cram in as much as I can in that building. And we're only going to charge about $10 a person to get in. It'll be a great tourist attraction for our state of Mississippi. It's going to be in this small town we have called Crystal Springs. It's actually the town I grew up in, but I don't live there anymore. But I still have my toy house there that I kept all the toys in. So we're packing up all this stuff to take to the toy museum, and I'm making videos of everything I pack up so I can kind of inventory and value it and just see what all I have. But it's taking so long to do it. But you know what, if I ever do sell it one day, I'll have all these videos to look back on if I'm in an old people's home, and I can enjoy my toys that way. So in our previous 445 videos of value on my toy collection, our collection was worth $1,101,050. Now when we add this video of all of our loose Barbie dolls, some of our one-of-a-kind dolls, and our candy dolls, we can add another $2,112 to our grand total. So that means for this episode, which is 446 of value in my toy collection, our new overall grand total is $1,103,162. I always wanted to say how I had $1 million toy collection, and now I can say it. I'm not really a millionaire though. I'm more of a toyonaire because this isn't actual money I can spend yet, but maybe one day I'll sell it for retirement. Who knows? Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos as much as I am making them. I like to see what all I have and what it's actually worth. And I'm putting all the toys online on our Facebook page, which is called the Toy Vault of Mississippi. And if you haven't subscribed to our videos, please do, because it really helps us grow. So until our next video, we will see you then.